I'm Dale Russell, Senior Investigative Reporter for Fox 5 News here in Atlanta. Welcome to the Atlanta Press Club Loudermilk Young Debate Series. Now, this is the runoff debate for Democratic candidates for insurance commissioner. And let's meet those candidates. They are in alphabetical order. Raphael Baker is a business owner. He declined to participate and is represented by an empty podium. Janice Laws Robinson is an insurance professional. Now, let's meet our panelists. I'm sure everyone recognizes Nicole Carr. She's a reporter for ProPublica. And Dave Williams is a reporter with Capitol Beat. For complete rules on today's program, please visit the Atlanta Press Club website, atlantapressclub.org. To start the program, Janice Laws Robinson will be asked one question by each panelist. She'll have 60 seconds to answer her question. Dave Williams, you get the first question for Janice Laws Robinson.
Thank you and good afternoon. In your years in the insurance business, what have you learned about the insurance system in Georgia that you believe needs fixing?
First, thank you so much for your question. Thank you to the Atlanta Press Club for having me here today. I have been a licensed insurance professional for more than 2 decades. And what I've learned is that the insurance industry is a great industry. In fact, without insurance, our economy would come to a screeching halt. So this is very important, and this is nothing to take lightly. What I've learned is in the over 10 years, we have not had an insurance commissioner in this office representing Georgia families. And as a result, we have had some of the highest rate increases in the country. We have had insurance customers who are not being taken care of. And as your next insurance commissioner, I will hold insurance companies accountable and I will fight for you and your family because it's important.
Nicole Carr, it's now your turn to ask a question.
Yes, Ms. Laws Robinson, thank you for being here. The Mental Health Parity Act, a bipartisan measure, passed the legislative session. If you are elected, this would be a part of, or your office would be a part of enforcing this, including adding personnel to oversee compliance with federal law. What do you see as promising in this new measure, and what would you consider a challenge as it relates to the department's role?
Thank you. That's a great question. I am very excited that we passed the Mental Health Parity Act. And as your next insurance commissioner, I will do everything in my power to make sure that this is properly implemented across the state. We deserve to have parity in mental health. This is a huge problem in our state. I will ensure that we have a deputy insurance commissioner accountable for health insurance. And this will be, this deputy insurance commissioner will also be accountable for mental health. Because this is so important, it deserves its own accountability. So I promise you that as your next insurance commissioner, I will ensure that mental health is a top priority in our state. We deserve the best, and I will do just that.
Now that concludes the first round. This is normally the part of the debate where candidates would question each other. But since Raphael Baker chose to not participate, Janice Laws Robinson, you may still ask your question to your opponent, who is represented here today by an empty podium, and you may share the rebuttal you would have given. You have 30 seconds to ask your question and another 30 seconds for a rebuttal. Janice Laws Robinson, please ask your question.
Sure. If Mr. Baker were here, I would ask him, what are your plans for this office? However, the empty podium says it all. He does not take this position seriously, and he has no plans for Georgians. He is not showing up for a debate, and he will not show up for you.
And any rebuttal?
I've been showing up for Georgia families since 2018, and I will continue as your next insurance commissioner to show up for you and to fight to ensure that you have representation, to fight for affordable auto insurance rates, access to quality affordable health care, and hold insurance companies accountable, because you deserve an insurance commissioner that will show up for you. We have had over a decade of insurance commissioners not showing up, and we do not need another person in this office that's not going to show up. I am here for you, and I will continue to do just that.
Now that concludes our second round. We move on to round 3 and go back to the panel to ask questions to the candidate until we run out of time. And as a point of moderator privilege, I might also ask questions of the candidate. I will determine when a rebuttal is appropriate. Nicole Carr, you get the first question in this round.
Sure. Ms. Laws Robinson, I want to go back to insurance rates, which you've just brought up. Taking this from bankrate.com, Georgians are paying $200 more a year for comprehensive car insurance. How exactly would you work to lower these rates?
Great question. As you know, I've been fighting this fight for affordable rates since 2018. I got in this race for just this, to ensure that we have affordable rates. We have some of the highest auto insurance rate increases in the country. I've been working with Georgia families just like you, and this is unacceptable. Our current insurance commissioner has done nothing about these rates. As your next insurance commissioner, I will fight, first of all, to repeal and replace Senate Bill 276, which is the source of these outrageous rates that we pay in Georgia. Senate Bill 276 literally allows insurance companies to charge whatever they want. And you have an insurance commissioner that's been appointed, and instead of working for you, he's traveling the state campaigning to try to earn your votes for a position that he has never earned in the first place.
And Dave Williams, it's your turn.
One of the aspects of this job that is people don't know much about, it doesn't get as much publicity, but it's in the title that you have, is the Safety Fire Commissioner. How would you promote fire safety?
Yeah, that's a great question. As part of my team, I have fire safety experts on my team. And I think this is a critical role. Georgia has one of the highest fire fatality rates in the country. We're number 9 in the country for wildfires. No one ever talks about this. But I will make sure I work with the Georgia Forestry Commission to ensure that we have proper permitting for fire safety. I will make sure that we have education programs that begin in our school system. I will work with our rural fire stations that do not get the resources that they need to ensure that we have fire safety across the state. This is a big state, over 159 counties, and rural, especially our rural firefighters and fire departments do not get the attention they deserve. And I will ensure that we have that accountability.
Nicole Carr.
Ms. Laws Robinson, the office is still healing, so to speak, from a scandal, from a fraud scandal, not involving the current commissioner, rather his predecessor. Do you think there is still a public relations issue with the office? And if so, how would you move to address that?
Great question. Yes, in 2018, I came within 3 percentage points of winning this seat. And as you know, the insurance commissioner that won this seat went to jail. So that was a very expensive 3%. I've been working with Georgia families for more than 2 decades as a licensed insurance professional, and I've never had any infractions. In fact, my customers have been supporting me in this race since 2018. They give and vote because they believe in me, they trust me, and they know that I will bring integrity back to this office. I will bring integrity in form and function. I'll make sure this office is managed for effectiveness, and I'll also make sure that you have representation in form, because women are the top insurance consumers in the country, and I will represent you. Also, Black and brown communities are impacted.
Dave, another question.
The state recently imposed a record $5 million fine on Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield for several violations of state law. Considering that that has never happened before, that was the all-time high. Do you feel like, has there not been enough of that? Do we need to do more investigating? Is there more out there to find?
Oh, absolutely. I think that it's about time that we begin to hold insurance companies accountable. And thankfully, I've been speaking about holding insurance companies accountable since 2018. So I'm glad something has finally happened. However, $5 million to Blue Cross Blue Shield, maybe not a big deal. So we need to make sure that we are hitting them where it actually hurts and that it will make a difference. It will cause change in behavior, and that they will know that as insurance commissioner, that I will not tolerate them treating our families unfairly, and that they will be fined. So this is only the beginning, and I'm glad it started, but I will continue to investigate. I will continue to find insurance companies that discriminate and that do not honor your claims.
Ms. Laws Robinson, let me go back for just a second to the legislative issue that you brought up that is so critical and important in pushing this agency forward. Do you have a specific plan, a bill in mind, language in mind, that might help Georgia people who are buying insurance now that are paying such high rates?
Well, number one, this bill literally says no rates will be deemed excessive as long as there's sufficient competition in the market. So my first priority is to repeal and replace that language. And as insurance commissioner, I have the power to do that. I have the ability to make recommendations to amend and to change bills. This insurance commissioner that we have not done that. So yes, I will take that on.
And that's all the time we have for questions now. The candidate will now have 60 seconds for her closing statement. Janice Laws Robinson, please give us your closing statement.
The insurance commissioner is a critical role because insurance impacts our everyday lives. You deserve representation in this vital governmental office. I will bring my 2 decades of experience and ethical leadership to represent all Georgia families. We are in a runoff, and when you go to vote in this runoff on June 21st, it will say that there are 2 candidates in this race. As you can see, there's an empty podium. I'm the only candidate here representing you. I ask you to treat your ballot as such. I am the only candidate here. I'm the only one that's asking for your vote. And so I ask you to vote Janice Laws Robinson to be your next insurance commissioner. In 2018, you trusted me. Over 1.8 million Georgians voted for me. I'm here again because I believe in you and you believe in me. A vote for me is a vote for you. Thank you very much. Early voting starts on June 13th.
And that concludes our program, and we'd like to remind voters that Election Day is Tuesday, June 21st. Our thanks to the candidates and to our panel of journalists, Dave Williams, Nicole Carr, and Janice Laws Robinson. We'd also like to thank the Atlanta Press Club for arranging today's program. For more information about these debates they will host this election season, visit atlantapressclub.org. I'm Dale Russell. Thanks for joining us for the Atlanta Press Club Loudermilk Young Debate Series.